here. Welcome to the Friday Snowboard live chat. We'll be on here for the next about 45 minutes to talk to you guys, answer any of your questions, and just give you guys an update on what's going on with the channel, snowboarding, and all the plans for the spring. So a few things to start off with. If you haven't yet, subscribe here to the channel. Hit the bell notification to get notified every time I upload a video or go live. If you guys want to support the channel, you can hit the join button right down here. There's some great perks there, and we're going to do an exclusive members only live chat at the end of this one, where we're going to discuss a few more topics. And also, if you guys, another way to support the channel is to do a super chat. So a super chat will get your question into priority, and we'll put you guys to the top of the list. So let's get started. Big shout out to everyone who's already on the chat. We've already got 25 people in here. Appreciate you guys hopping on. And yeah, let's just jump into it. Any of your guys' questions, we'll be stoked to talk to you guys. Last week, had an awesome live chat. Lots of questions, was talking about how to buy inexpensive gear, some other plans for the channel and the season, and just talking to you guys about general things. So let's jump right back into that. We've got Bad Riders saying smash the like button everywhere. Everyone, thanks, Bad Riders. Yeah, we got Bad Riders on here. We got Mark, Arnav. We got Ricky Garcia. Thanks for hopping on. We got Insane Art hopping on the chat. What's up, man? Hope you're getting some good pow out there. Grant says, where do I become a member? So there should be like a join button right here. And I think it's like $5 a month. And you can support the channel and then get access to the exclusive live chats. I'm going to do one right after this, and also some other bonus content. You get like cool emojis that go beside your name in the chat. So in the comments, you'll have like, I think you're highlighted in blue, and then also you get like an emoji. And yeah, just doing some exclusive polls over there and stuff too. So like I was asking the members, like, what's the best day to do the live chat, and people replied with Friday was the best day. So that's why we're doing the Friday live chat. And but yeah, it's good, some good perks and an awesome way to support the channel. We got Rob back in the chat. We got Bradley. Thanks for hopping on, guys. Arnav asking, are you in Tahoe next week? I am not. So I was in Tahoe for most of the season, from like October until I guess it was like early March, was in Tahoe. Had an absolutely insane time riding like North Star, Palisades, Kirkwood, Heavenly, like all those places. Such an amazing area. But as a Canadian, I can't stay down there for too long. So I had to come back to Canada, did a few trips up here. And I'm kind of thinking about going back down there possibly for some spring riding. I've seen that like Tahoe has like got so much snow that they've I think a lot of the resorts have extended their season. So the season could be going like through to the end of June. But right now I'm in Vancouver, and I'm thinking of actually spending some time in Whistler. So I've got the Icon and Epic Pass, so kind of access to all those different mountains. And haven't like spent a substantial amount of time in Whistler in quite a while. So possibly going to head up to Whistler for some spring riding. Yeah, this is, I guess, one of the topics of the live chat is just like, what are some of the best spots for spring riding at the moment? For sure, Whistler is one of the best spots because you can ride there all through April, typically until the third weekend of May. And they do a really good job with the terrain park and everything up there. Mount Hood in Oregon is another place at Timberline, and Timberline has the spring pass. So I think it used to be like $100. Now I think it's maybe 200 or 250, but you get to ride all spring until the end of May on their spring pass. And then at Timberline, it continues on until June and July. Speaking of Timberline, I'm collaborating with High Cascade in summer snowboard camp. So if you want to come out and ride with me this summer, there's a link to the camp sign up down below. You use that promo code to get some exclusive perks. But besides that, there's also, and so yeah, the Tahoe area is going to be open until June, hopefully like well into June. I'm sure Mammoth is going to be open late this year. And yeah, let me know where you guys know of places that are open until May or June, because in certain places the snowfall has been really good. So some late season stuff going on this year. I think even like places like Mount Baker, just over the border here, are open pretty late. I know that the local mountains around Vancouver are still open for a few more weeks at least. So lots of cool places. Insane Art says Mammoth already announced they'll be open until the end of July. If they get a few more dumps, they'll be open through late August. Oh, no way. Okay, so Mammoth might be the call then. Jake, if you're down, and yeah, if I'm making the trip, I'll back to the area. I'll let you know, and it would be great to link up, man. Bradley's saying I'm posted in Mammoth for all of May and June. That's awesome, Bradley. Yeah, I might see you down there, man. It's what an awesome place. Random Manchild says, yo, never caught a live chat. Welcome. Yeah, stoked that you can make it. Gonna be doing these regularly every Friday. So yeah, stoked to be getting the Friday live chats back and on a regular basis. Yeah, Bradley's saying the best spring is about to go down. I think so, because yeah, California got so much snow. I think Oregon got like a pretty decent season, had a pretty decent season as well. And yeah, hopefully they can just keep all this this snow around and get some good terrain parks built as well. Rob says, dude, I'm back in Whistler for 5 days next week. I better see you. All right, Rob. Yeah, well, I'll keep an eye on my Instagram. I'll probably post some stories if I am up there, and hopefully I'll see you up there, Rob. And Bird saying, still shredding in Mount Baker here in Washington. Loved your Mount Baker vid from last year. Awesome, thank you. Have you had the chance to check out the recent Baker video I did? Yeah, one day back, went with Chris Ayers with my filmer Yannick, and had an awesome crew out there. My buddy Chris Doffney was out from Toronto, and we had like a really amazing just one day back at Baker. So yeah, Baker is such an incredible place. Jake wants to know, what do you think is the best all-mountain snowboard? Oh man, I'm not really sure. It's hard to say. There's so many good boards out there. It kind of depends on what like you're leaning towards. Like what's your, Jake, tell me, what is the thing you like to ride the most when you go snowboarding? Oh, Bad Riders knows a few places that are opening in June, probably down in the southern hemisphere, down in Australia. Yeah, I might see you down there, man. Arnav says, let me know when you're back. Got a solid cabin, 1 minute from Heavenly. Would love to have you. Arnav, if you want to message me, man, I'm actually, like, if I do go back to Tahoe, I'll be looking for a place to crash. So yeah, hit me up on an email, snowboardprocamp@gmail.com. And yeah, I would love to get some details from you, man, because yeah, if I head back down that way, I'll be looking for a place to crash. So thanks so much for the offer, man. That's amazing. Rob saying Banff is open until late May. That's good to know as well. Yeah, Banff is over there close to the BC Alberta border, and really cool spot there. Jackie, what are your thoughts on the Ride Lasso boots? Honestly, I haven't had any time riding those, so I'm not sure. Sorry, I can't give you more feedback. But I mean, with boots, it's like all about the comfort and the fit. So, I mean, try them on, see how they feel. Maybe talk to some other people that have had them. And because comfort and fit is the number one thing. So make sure those two things are locked in. Day Job Shredder says Midwest has wrapped up. Now focus on off-season training and looking at starting wakeboarding this summer at a cable park. Awesome, man. Yeah, wakeboarding is super fun. Bad Riders with the tacos in the chat says, where's Jose and the DWCP. Yeah, where are those guys? We need those guys back. El Stacker Adventures in the chat. Here's a potato from Idaho. El Stacker, let us know how the conditions are at Bogus Basin. How's riding been? What's the closing day for Bogus Basin? Maybe we'll have to make a quick trip down there. Bradley says, just replaced my Skunk Ape on Union Forces with Spring Break Powder Twin with Jones Meteorites. I'm stoked. Wow, man, how does that feel? How does have you had some days on the new setup? It would be good to know how that feels. Ducky says, can you do a review on the Battalion Disaster? For sure. Yeah, I love the Battalion boards, the 3BT nose and tail. Make those boards like super fun. I've ridden the Evil Twin and the Global Warmer, although I don't know if they make the Global Warmer anymore, but yeah, those boards are super fun. They definitely feel a bit different to ride with less edge and contact with the snow, but yeah, super fun boards. I'll have to try to get hold on a Disaster. Mark wants to know, did you see the video of a skier rescuing a snowboarder in Mount Baker, the one buried in a tree well? I haven't seen that video, but I'll look out for it. But yeah, tree wells are definitely a concern on the mountain, especially places where you get a ton of snow like Mount Baker. So it's good to be careful out there, ride with friends, keep an eye on each other, know about the dangers of tree wells and just staying away from them. And yeah, I haven't had any close calls at Mount Baker. Like once in a while, I'll have a crash into powder or near trees. And my first instinct is always to try to get away from the base of trees because you do have that big well at the base. So, and if you guys don't know what a tree well is, basically all the snow gets stuck up in the tree and the branches, creating a hollow part at the base. And so you can fall in there and be in a lot of trouble. So good to stay away from those. And yeah, if you are riding through trees, always ride with friends. But we'll have to take a look at that video. Oscar is saying, will you go to Japan again? Love the snowboard video that you took in Japan. I think 100% at some point we'll be getting back to Japan. I mean, I was trying to think of what are the best places to snowboard each month of the year, and probably January is the best month, or the best place to be in January is probably Japan. So I have to get back there at some point. It just has the best snow, the best trees. So yeah, I love Japan. We'll have to get back. Next year though, one trip that we're really locking in is going to India. So I think India is definitely going to happen next season. We'll see how everything works out. You never know these days, but I think India is number one priority. And then yeah, Japan is up there as well. HK says it's already the end of the season in Japan because the temperature is high and the snow is melting. Oh no, I hope you get some cold temperatures back. El Stacker is saying cannonball the like button. Thanks, El Stacker. Yeah, just a quick reminder too, if you guys want to support the channel, hit that join button, become a member. You get exclusive members perks. And I'm also going over and doing a members only live chat right after this one. Also, if you guys want, another way to support the channel is through doing a super chat, or you can just subscribe here to Snowboard Pro Camp and hit that bell to get notified every time I go live. Awesome. Another good way to support. Bad Rider is saying, welcome to the team, Grant. So maybe Grant just joined. Awesome. Thanks, Grant, man. Appreciate it. Bradley says, bindings just arrived. A board is going to be delivered tomorrow. Oh, that's super exciting. I love getting snowboard gear in the mail. That's so much fun. Unwrapping it, putting it all together. Especially right now is an awesome time to get cheap gear. There's so many huge sales going on online. I feel in terms of like snowboard sales this past winter. I think it's been down quite a bit. So I think a lot of the stores have a lot of inventory like left over, and everything is like going on for like big discounts at the moment. So if you need any gear for next year and the next like I think month or two is a good time to buy. You're gonna be able to get stuff for like 40-50% off. So yeah, some good deals out there at the moment. Mike says the dig out video is amazing. Really puts it into perspective. We'll have to check out that video. Yeah, Insane Art says that video of the tree wall just came out 4 days ago. It was pretty insane. Definitely worth a watch. Yeah, we'll check it out for sure. Duckwee says, can you rate Blue Mountain Resort in Collingwood, Canada? I haven't been to Blue Mountain since I was in high school, maybe like 13 or 14 years old. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I haven't been there since then. So I'd have to like revisit to give it a proper review. Yeah, Grant Bayer just became a member. Dude, thank you so much for the support. And he's got the emoji, and the emoji is TJ going across the pond skim. So awesome emoji. And yeah, shout out to Grant Bayer. Appreciate the support, man. We got Koicho watching from Mexico. Awesome. Thanks for watching all the way from Mexico. We got Amund watching from Norway. Have you considered doing any riding in Norway? Yeah, I would love to get up there at some point, do some riding. Where would you recommend? Because I know there's lots of good spots, but if you have any recommendations, that would be appreciated. Bradley says, Jan or Feb for Japan? I've heard mixed opinions. I mean, it's kind of like you get the luck of the draw too in terms of like weather, whether you go in January or February. We've always gone sort of like late January, and we've always managed to like hit the good powder snow. I mean, February I'm sure is great as well. Maybe it's, if you leave it too late into February, you could get into more warmer temperatures. However, like February, things would be more filled in. So, I mean, it's kind of like luck of the draw with the weather and the snow, whether you go, I think, in either late January or early February. Maybe there's that sweet spot, like last 2 weeks of January, first 2 weeks of February, those 4 weeks could be the sweet spot. El Stacker saying membership hype. Yeah, man. Stu Haynes saying we're doing a Japan trip in 24. Where do we go? Who do we talk to? I recommend going to Niseko. So, and in terms of who do you talk to? I mean, that's like a whole other thing. But yeah, Niseko, that's where there's lots of good accommodation there. You fly into Tokyo, then hop into another flight up to Sapporo. From there, you get a bus or you rent a car or van and go into Niseko. But in my opinion, Niseko has been my favorite. Bad Riders saying, welcome to the team HK. Awesome. Do we have another member? That'd be pretty sweet. Duckwee saying, how do I join the subscription? So yeah, there should be a join button right here. And yeah, that's how you become a part of Team SPC. We've got a few perks over there already, but you get like the emoji next to your name. You also get... I'm doing members only live chats as well. So it's kind of like a cool way just to talk a bit more, I guess, intimately, because there's less people. Can kind of talk a bit, maybe about some more controversial topics as well. Maybe stuff I may not want to talk about on here, but, and it's just a good way to support the channel. And also do like members only polls too. So like just asking you guys opinions about things, what videos I should make next, when's a good day for the live chat, those kinds of things. So, but yeah, awesome way to support the channel. And we got a super chat from Mike Vroman. Thanks for the support, Mike. He says, I check in on your videos here and there for years and follow you on Insta. You put out such great product for all the new riders in the sport. Doing good things, man. Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Appreciate you checking in on the channel. And yeah, just trying to get the knowledge out there for whoever, needs it. And I mean, I love snowboarding. I love making these kinds of videos. And I taught snowboarding for 10 years. So this has been like just a fun thing for me to do too. Make videos, teaching people, getting them through those beginner stages, or, how to improve their riding or learn tricks in the terrain park. So yeah, I really appreciate the support, Mike. Awesome, man. Bad Rider saying, members chats can get wild. Join up, guys. For sure. We break out the Schweppes ginger ale and get wild on the members only chat. And Bad Rider saying, hey Kev, guess who got another summer board? This guy. No way. You've got 2 summer boards, Adam. How's that going, man? I haven't been on my summer board in quite a while, but yeah, let us know what you think. I mean, it's a great way to train in the off season. Getting on some like electric skateboards. That's cool, dude. Corbin says, where's your favorite place to ride in Colorado? To be honest, I haven't been to like a ton of places in Colorado. I've been like, I really like the terrain park at Keystone, although everyone's been saying that the terrain park at Copper is kind of like the next best thing now. So I'll have to go check out Copper again. For like just free riding, probably like Breckenridge. I've had some incredible days, but I know there's like just so many other resorts around Colorado to check out. So we'll have to explore some more. But yeah, Colorado is super cool. Keystone, probably my favorite for park, and Breckenridge, my favorite for free riding. Santa Cruz says, can you give advice for beginner at rails and other features? For sure. When you're like a beginner and you're getting into doing like boxes and tubes and rails, I mean, just start out where you're comfortable and start with like easy stuff. I think it's better to get like a bunch of tricks on like an easy feature than always trying to like make the feature harder and harder, because that's like a way that you're just going to get injured. So start on something easy. And like repetition is the most important thing. So like, for example, if you have like a small tube and you're practicing like getting some tricks on that tube, just like getting that repetition is going to help you so much. So, and then in terms of like technique, you want to make sure you're able to do some like quick kind of speed check turns. You want to be able to line up the features. So kind of riding into it with your board like straight, kind of flat, maybe a bit on your toes, so that you can have that base to take off of. And you also want to be comfortable with a bit of speed too. So just like, the speed to get onto something and be comfortable coming off of it. And with those kinds of features too, like don't try to fight it. If you're going to fall, just kind of like go with the fall. So it's the worst when you try to fight something, then that's when you usually slip out the worst. So if you're like hopping onto something and you're just not feeling totally balanced, just like go with coming off of it. Also, like you can practice all that stuff outside the park too. So you can, if you're riding on the slope, you can kind of pick a spot in the snow and pretend like you're doing a 50-50 across like a box, or twist your board and like slide in like a board slide just on the snow, keeping your downhill edge up, but practicing all the movements. And you can practice the approach and like slowing yourself down afterwards, all those things just on the snow ahead of time. But yeah, repetition is the most important thing, being comfortable with speed. And even like you can even just do like the movements like standing still too, just on the snow. You don't even have to be moving. But yeah, all those things can help. And also check out some YouTube tutorials too, watching YouTube tutorials or just watching other people help as well. Magic Chris says, hey man, what camber profile you felt you have the best pop with? Definitely like a more camber dominant camber profile I think is the best for doing like ollies and pop. So the board I have now, it's the K2 After Black, and it's mostly camber. Towards like the tips, it does start to rock out a little bit early, so It's not that really aggressive camber shape, but definitely something that is just more on the camber side. So more camber dominant with a bit of rocker towards the tips. That's going to give you the most pop. Also boards that are a little bit like either mid flex or a little bit past mid flex towards like a bit stiffer. You're just going to get more response from the board when you go to like load up the tail and like ollie from it. If the board is too soft, then you're not going to get like as much ollie out of the board either. So something that's a bit more camber dominant and that has some stiffness to it as well. Duckwee YT with the super chat. Thanks for the support. Just saying, I don't know how to buy the subscription. Yeah, so there's the join button there, but if it doesn't work on, maybe it doesn't work on all mobile phones. So you may have to do it like on your computer or on a different phone. But yeah, if you don't see the join button, it might be somewhere else, but appreciate the super chat anyway. Duckwee YT. Yeah, really appreciate it. All right. Ash X and Hey Kev, glad to see you live, man. I learned so much about snowboarding from you. I only did snowboarding twice, took a private lesson for 2 hours in total, and went down greens leafing heel. Good. That's definitely good. Yeah, I mean, in a couple hours, if you can start to, get your like walking around with one foot and doing some falling leaf on your heels, just getting that heel control going, that's like a good start. I mean, next time you go out, maybe you could do some more heels and then add in some of the toe falling leaf. And if you can get the heels feeling comfortable and the toes, then the next step is to start letting your board go straight and going in between controlling your speed on your heels and then controlling your speed on your toes. So yeah, you're off to a good start. Yeah, and then consistency is key. Just trying to get out there once or twice a week if you can, and before you know it, you'll be doing like more full days and progressing that way. So yeah, you're definitely off to a good start. Ricky says, any advice on riding at Copper Mountain? I'm an East Coast rider. I haven't ridden there a ton to like give you too much advice, but I mean, the mountains in Colorado are so much bigger than out east. I would just say like pace yourself, take breaks when you need to. If you do need to sit down on the slope, make sure you sit down on the side and where everyone can see you. But yeah, take breaks. It's a big mountain, tons to explore. And yeah, I mean, just take your time. The first day, also riding in Colorado, you may feel like the elevation, you might get a bit of elevation sickness, especially. So the first couple days, you're going to feel like a bit of elevation sickness. So it does take some time to get used to that. Usually by like the third day, that's when you get over it. So keep that in mind too. You'll probably feel some elevation sickness. Grant saying, the season always seems to go super quick. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can't believe it's already like pretty much April now. Season went by, I mean, fairly quick, although like thinking back to my first day, it was at Mammoth in like October. And so that it does seem long, but I mean, the best way to extend the season is to try to like find some place you can go spring riding. Mount Hood has the summer camps like all through June and July. So that's like an awesome thing to do. If you can make it to the Southern Hemisphere, like their winter is just about to start. So Chile, Argentina, Australia, New Zealand, all those places are opening up in the next couple months. So you could always make a trip down there. Yeah, so some options to extend the season if you can make it happen. Magic's Chris says, do you plan to stay in Tahoe again next season? Possibly. I mean, I love the Tahoe area. The thing I love about that area and just like California in general is that there's so many like sunny days. So this year it was probably like the snowiest winter I've ever had, like record snowfalls around Lake Tahoe. But also like besides when it was powder, there was also a ton of sunny days. So I love that combination of like POW and sun. Great terrain parks around that area too, especially like North Star Terrain Park is awesome. Some incredible terrain at Palisades and places like Kirkwood. So yeah, we'll have to like I would really love to do another season there, just for the fact, yeah, just that combination of sun. Also, like the backcountry is like very accessible there. So in terms of like some backcountry access, I know like the pro snowboarder Jeremy Jones lives out there, and he lives there for a good reason. It's because there's just so much like accessible terrain in those like Sierra Nevada mountains. So some really cool spots, and yeah, would love to get back there. Quecho says, "What size you ride? I made some boards. I'd like you to have one." Shame, I just got back from Whistler and Vancouver. So I mean, parkboard, I ride a 159, and POW all mountain board, I ride like a 162. But yeah, if you have like, if you make your own boards, that's pretty cool. But yeah, would love to check them out. Maybe just hit me up with my email, snowboardprocamp@gmail.com. Uh, Duragzit says, "Hey SPC, what's up, Duragzit? Thanks for hopping on." Ashak says, "Thanks, Kev. We'll be sure to do 2+ times a week next season. Going to take more private lessons. P.S. I jumped the gun and bought a Yes Basic board. Camrock, awesome. Thoughts on the board as a beginner? 5 out of 10 flex. I mean, yeah, that's like a pretty good board. I think that's like a good place to start for sure. Yeah, that's awesome. For like, if you want to get into the terrain park, 5 out of 10 might be like a little bit of a stiffer board if that's the route you want to take. But just for like turns and riding and carving and progressing, like a 5 out of 10 is like a good place to start. El Stacker wants to know, where is everyone watching from? Thanks, El Stacker. One other thing I just want to let you guys know quickly about is I am doing a camp collab with High Cascade Snowboard Camp this summer for session 1 and 2. So if you're thinking about doing summer snowboard camp, there's a link down in the description. And if you use the promo code SPC 2023, it unlocks a whole list of different perks. So there's like an exclusive camp dinner with me. There's going to be clinics where like I'm teaching a jump or a box or something to do with turning. So we're going to do on mountain clinics. You'll have the chance to do some like one-on-one coaching with me as well. So if you want to request me to like spend like a half an hour or an hour like teaching you a trick, there's going to be time for that. We're also doing exclusive merch for the camp as well. So SPC beanies that are going to be exclusive for camp that you'll get. We're also doing like a pre-camp online meetup too. So to talk about all the things to expect for summer snowboarding. So all that, if you use the promo code SPC 2023, and there's a link to the camp down below. So I'll be there for session 1 and 2. So if you guys are interested in doing summer snowboard camp, that is like a fun thing to do. Linked below. Yeah, and where is everyone watching from? We got Mike watching from Washington State. El Stacker, of course, is from Potato Town, Boise, Idaho. Bad Riders is watching from his recording studio in Melbourne, Australia. Awesome, man. Yeah, gonna have to include some of your tunes into some upcoming videos. Magic Chris is watching from Zurich, Switzerland. Awesome, man. And Grant says he lives in North Dakota. Have to travel to ride anything good. This year I've made it to Colorado and Montana. Awesome, Grant. Dude, you're also so close to the Canadian border as well. You could hop up to, man, if you ever get the chance, go to Whitewater in BC. Super fun. Revelstoke is a few more hours, I think, away from you. So it's some really awesome mountains just over the border into Canada. You also have Fernie not too far away. We got Insane 3 Art watching from San Diego. Man, I still need to check out San Diego. Bad Rider says, "Hey Kev, what are we going to talk about in our member chat today?" Was thinking of maybe going into detail on snowboard gear that is actually better the cheaper it is. So this is kind of like a weird idea, but with some snowboard gear, it's actually better when you buy the cheaper stuff. Some things, like the more expensive it gets, it can actually kind of hinder your snowboarding or become the wrong gear for you. So a quick example is, for me, like I find that traditional laced, softer snowboard boots are the best. Those are my favorite, and those are usually the least expensive boots. Whereas the more money you pay for snowboard boots, like the stiffer they get. A lot of the times they get heavier as well because there's like thicker soles and like more material. And then you get into some lacing systems, which are maybe not your favorite. So for me, if I had the choice between like a $600 pair of boots versus like a $300 pair, I would go for the $300 pair that have traditional laces that are lighter and that are also just like more comfortable on my feet. So that's like one example, but there's a few different areas in snowboarding where the cheaper stuff can actually be a lot better. We got Day Job Shredder watching from Illinois. Hope to hit Mount Hood next season when I visit my bro in Washington. Awesome. Yeah, man, so many great places in Washington and Oregon. I feel like that's kind of like a hidden secret how good the snowboarding is in those two states. Also, Idaho has amazing snowboarding. And even I think California is a bit underrated for snowboarding. All those places are just incredible. All right. Oh, so Bad Riders has some input. All right. So this is, I mean, yeah, if you become a member, you can definitely, you can definitely give me a lot. You can boss me around a little bit. So Bad Rider says, I have some input on that, Kev. Keen to discuss in more depth. Sometimes spending some extra coin on gear is a benefit. Oh, okay. So we could have a little debate. We can kind of debate it. What's, the pros and cons of spending more money versus spending less money. Happy Twalofs says the basic may have, is that the Yes Basic? May have a steeper learning curve at first, but is a better choice than starting on a rocker that may need to be replaced quite early. Yeah, I mean, I think like a true rocker snowboard can be a bit too loose feeling and a little bit too easy to turn without like enough control for sure. So, I mean, rocker boards have their kind of place, but I feel like camber is still a necessity. Magic Chris says, what is the next new trick you're planning to learn? Oh, that's a good question. Man, I don't know. I really just, what is like a trick I'd really love to learn? I like one thing I've like not spent enough time doing is, I'm kind of disappointed I didn't do more of this past season is just like spending more time in powder doing, like flip tricks. So like back flips or front flips. I did have a few tame dog front flips last year, and that was like a goal that I had for a while. So if I had the time, just spending some time in powder and practicing flips, because that's like it's like so much fun, low consequence, and I mean in terms of the terrain park, there's just like there's so many tricks, but that's like one big goal I'd like to spend more time doing. Ashak says, Kev, now I want to buy boots. Should I go with the toe grazing the front, or it to cram a little so it packs out / heat molded? Confused as a beginner. Also, is mid flex good for beginner? 6 out of 10. I mean, I would recommend the first thing you try is like a softer boot. I feel like as a beginner, softer is a bit better. From my experience too, like softer boots are a bit more comfortable as well. And for me, from my experience with like trying on boots and like foot pain and just having like comfortable boots, is getting boots where my toes are just grazing the front. Anytime that my toes have kind of been a bit like cramped up in the front, the packing out process just does not help. Or like it helps like way like later, after like weeks and weeks, or like even like a month or two later. But when I get boots that are just grazing, then that's when I find that it's the right fit, it's comfortable. And as long as I can get the boots like tight enough, I don't have any issues with my foot moving around. I have had issues like with like 3 or 4 pairs of boots where my toes were a bit cramped, and I thought, okay, I'll pack them out, do heat molding, do all kinds of things, just wear them as much as possible, have a bunch of big days on them. And usually that doesn't end up with them like packing out enough, and I end up with like foot pain and have to like give the boots away, like donate them to people with smaller feet. So yeah, I would say just go with the grazing. I think a bit softer boots are better. And but yeah, comfort and fit is number one. I find that Vans boots have been like very comfortable for me. So maybe start with some Vans, but yeah, find what's comfortable for you and kind of fits best, and yeah, start there. But yeah, good luck. Boots are a tough one, but yeah, just with your toes grazing, I think that's a good place to start. All right. Grant says, I've been on my board for about 4 years now, and I'm thinking about getting the LibTech Orca. Thoughts? I don't ride park. I like groomers, and I'm trying to get better through the trees. Yeah, I mean, the Orca is good for both those things. So you got the magnet traction on the Orca, so it does really well with groomers, for holding an edge, for carving, for getting across like anything that's firm. So that's really good. And then in terms of trees, the Orca has I think it's got the C2X profile. So it's got that combination of camber and rocker. So camber under your feet and then rocker in between and towards the tips. So I find that the Orca is really maneuverable through the trees because of that C2X profile. So yeah, a good board kind of gives you that best of both worlds that way. So yeah, really good choice, I think. Day Job Shredder, Kevin, appreciate all the solid content this year. Definitely helped pump up the confidence. Next season is going to be mostly park, progression, focused. Can't wait. That's awesome, Day Job Shredder. I'm glad it helped, man. Magic Chris says, have you seen that Arthur Longo is shooting a new She? Can't wait to watch it. Yeah, the side hit progression, or no, side hit euphoria videos. Yeah, that's awesome. I saw Arthur Longo at Whitewater Mountain in BC. There's like, I totally understand why he's there. There's like so many just side hits everywhere, kickers, natural kickers. So the perfect place for him to be and to be filming. But yeah, can't wait to see the new side hit euphoria video. I've seen the previous, like, is there 2 or 3 of them now? And they're incredible. Yeah, it's cool to see like how he creates those lines on side hits, like things that I feel like most people wouldn't be able to like spot or just have like the speed and ability to do. But yeah, he sends it on some of those side hits, and it's super incredible. Happy Twaloff says, I hope so. Maybe I'll get into POW or the park one day. I'll put the bindings back on the rocker then, or it might end up on Craigslist. But it was fun to get started on. Awesome. Yeah, Craigslist is a kind of a good spot to put stuff onto once you outgrow it or you progress past it for sure. Awesome, guys. So I think we're going to head over to the members area now for live chat, but thank you guys so much for hanging out here. Hope I answered all of your questions. Big shout out to everyone that did the super chats and for everyone who subscribed. Really appreciate your support. And yeah, we'll see you back on here next Friday. Man, this time went by like so quickly. We may have to like extend it next week, but yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Hope you have a chance to do some spring riding and that you still have some days snowboarding this season. And yeah, thank you guys again. Have fun out there shredding, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. All right, later, guys.